Welcome to Easy Listening English. Just listen and let English feel easy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Easy Listening English. I'm Anna.
And I'm Ryan. Anna, do you smell something burning?
Oh no, not again. Wait, no, that's just a sound effect. We're safe.
Good, because today we're talking about cooking disasters.
Yes, and trust me, we have a lot of experience with this topic.
Unfortunately, that's true. We've both had our share of kitchen nightmares.
Whether it's burning dinner, following a recipe wrong, or just making something completely inedible, we've done it all.
And I'm sure many of you have similar stories. Cooking can be really challenging, especially if you're learning.
Exactly. So today we're going to share our most embarrassing cooking fails, talk about common mistakes, and of course, learn useful cooking vocabulary in English.
We'll also discuss some tips to avoid disasters in the kitchen.
So whether you're a beginner cook or someone who's burned water before, yes, that's possible, this episode is for you.
Let's get cooking. Or let's get talking about cooking disasters.
Much safer that way.
All right, Anna, let's start with you. What was your first major cooking disaster?
Oh God, this is so embarrassing. So this happened when I first moved out of my parents' house. I was like 19 years old.
Okay, so you were pretty young.
Yeah, and I had no idea how to cook. Like, zero experience. My mom did all the cooking at home.
So what happened?
I invited my new roommate over for dinner. I wanted to impress her, show her I could be a good roommate.
What did you decide to make?
Spaghetti. I thought, how hard can pasta be? You just boil it, right?
That sounds reasonable.
That's what I thought. So I filled a pot with water and put the spaghetti in.
Wait, you put the pasta in before the water boiled?
I didn't know you had to wait. Nobody told me.
Oh no.
So the pasta just sat in cold water for like 20 minutes while I was making the sauce.
What happened to the pasta?
It became this weird, mushy, sticky blob, like glue.
That's terrible.
But wait, it gets worse. I also made the sauce from scratch.
Okay, what went wrong with the sauce?
The recipe said 1 clove of garlic, but I didn't know what a clove was.
Oh no, where is this going?
I thought a clove meant the whole bulb, so I put an entire bulb of garlic in the sauce.
That's like 10, 12 cloves.
I know! The sauce was so garlicky, it was inedible.
What did your roommate say?
She tried to be polite. She took one bite and said, "Wow, this is very flavorful."
That's a nice way to put it.
Then she said she wasn't feeling well and ordered pizza.
At least you got pizza.
Yeah, but I was so embarrassed. I didn't try to cook again for like 3 months after that.
That's a rough introduction to cooking.
Tell me about it. Now I always look up cooking terms I don't understand.
That's good advice. Let's explain some terms. A clove of garlic is one small segment, not the whole bulb.
Right, and you should always boil water before adding pasta. Wait for the water to bubble vigorously.
These are basic things, but if no one teaches you, how would you know?
Exactly. That's why cooking disasters happen. Okay, Ryan, I shared my embarrassing story. Now it's your turn.
All right. So mine is actually pretty scary.
Oh no, this sounds serious.
It is. I almost burned down my apartment.
What? Tell me everything.
Okay, so this was about 3 years ago. I was trying to make fried chicken.
Homemade fried chicken? That's ambitious.
I know. I watched a YouTube video and thought, I can do this.
Famous last words.
Right? So the recipe said to heat oil in a deep pan.
How much oil did you use?
Too much. I filled the pan almost to the top.
Oh no.
I turned the heat to high and waited for the oil to get hot.
Did you use a thermometer to check the temperature?
No, I didn't even know I needed one. I just waited until the oil looked shimmery, like the video said.
Then what happened?
I went to the living room to check my phone. Just for a minute, I thought.
Ryan, no, you never leave oil unattended.
I know that now. So I'm scrolling through Instagram and suddenly I smell something weird.
The oil was smoking?
Worse, when I ran back to the kitchen, there were actual flames from the pan.
Oh my God.
The oil had gotten so hot that it ignited. Fire was shooting up like a foot high.
What did you do?
Well, my first instinct was to throw water on it.
No, you can't put water on an oil fire.
Luckily, I remembered that at the last second. Water and oil fires are a terrible combination. It makes the fire explode.
So what did you do?
I grabbed a lid and covered the pan to cut off the oxygen. The fire went out after a few seconds.
Oh, thank God.
But my kitchen was filled with smoke. The smoke alarm was going off like crazy. My neighbors came knocking on the door asking if I was okay.
That's so scary.
It was. I was shaking for like an hour afterwards.
Did you ever make fried chicken again?
Not for a long time. Now when I do it, I'm super careful. I used a thermometer, I never leave the kitchen, and I keep a lid nearby just in case.
That's really important safety advice. Never leave hot oil unattended.
And never, ever throw water on an oil fire. Use a lid, baking soda, or a fire extinguisher.
These are life-saving tips, everyone. Okay, everyone, let's take a vocabulary break. We've mentioned a lot of cooking terms.
Let's start with basic cooking methods. Boil means to heat liquid until it bubbles vigorously.
Right. The water is boiling, or boil the pasta for 10 minutes.
Simmer is similar but gentler. It means to cook in liquid that's just below boiling. Small bubbles, not big ones.
Fry means to cook in hot oil. I'm frying eggs, or fried chicken.
Sauté is to cook quickly in a small amount of oil or butter over high heat, usually while stirring.
Bake means to cook in an oven using dry heat. I'm baking cookies.
Roast is similar to baking, but usually for meat or vegetables at higher temperatures.
What about grill?
That's cooking over direct heat, usually on a barbecue or grill pan. You get those nice char marks.
Let's talk about preparation terms. Chop means to cut into pieces.
Dice means to cut into small, even cubes.
Mince means to cut into very tiny pieces, like minced garlic.
Slice means to cut into thin, flat pieces.
And grate means to shred using a grater, like grated cheese.
One more important one, whisk. This means to beat ingredients together rapidly, usually eggs or cream.
Great! Now people know the basic cooking vocabulary.
Anna, have you ever had a baking disaster?
Oh my God, yes. Baking is so much harder than regular cooking.
Why do you think that is?
Because baking is like chemistry. You have to be precise with measurements. If you mess up, the whole thing fails.
That's true. Tell me about your baking disaster.
Okay, so last year I decided to bake a birthday cake for my friend.
Homemade cake. That's sweet of you.
I thought so. I found this recipe online for chocolate cake. It looked easy.
What went wrong?
First of all, I didn't have a measuring cup.
Oh no.
So I just guessed the amounts. That looks like about a cup of flour, right?
It's not how baking works.
I know that now. So I mixed everything together and put it in the oven.
How did it turn out?
It didn't rise at all. It came out flat and dense, like a hockey puck.
Could you eat it?
Barely. It was so dry and crumbly, and somehow also undercooked in the middle.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. It was both dry and gooey at the same time.
What did you do for your friend's birthday?
I threw the cake away and bought one from the bakery.
Probably the smart choice.
Yeah, but I felt so bad. I really wanted to make it myself.
I have a baking disaster story too.
Let's hear it.
So I tried to make cookies once. Chocolate chip cookies, super simple recipe.
Okay, what happened?
The recipe said 1 teaspoon of baking soda.
Okay.
I read it as 1 tablespoon.
Oh no, that's 3 times as much.
Exactly. The cookies came out tasting like chemicals. They had this weird metallic taste.
That's because baking soda is very strong.
I didn't know that. I thought more would make them fluffier or something.
Did anyone eat them?
I tried one bite and immediately spit it out. They went straight in the trash.
This is why baking is dangerous.
It requires precision.
The lesson here, always measure carefully when baking.
And know the difference between teaspoons and tablespoons.
Ryan, have you ever tried to follow a recipe in a different language?
Oh, yes, and it was a disaster.
Tell me.
So I was visiting my friend in Korea, and his mom gave me a recipe written in Korean.
That's so nice. What was the recipe for?
Some kind of soup. She said it was really easy.
But you don't read Korean, right?
Exactly. So I used a translation app on my phone.
Oh no, those apps can be unreliable.
Very unreliable. The recipe said I needed 3 cups of water stock.
Water stock? What does that even mean?
I think it meant broth or stock made with water, but I wasn't sure.
What did you do?
I just used water, plain water.
That's probably not right.
It wasn't. The soup had no flavor at all. It was like eating hot water with vegetables.
That sounds terrible.
It was. And there was another ingredient that translated to sesame oil seed.
Sesame oil seed? That doesn't make sense.
Right? I think it meant sesame oil or sesame seeds, but the app combined them.
Which one did you use?
I used both. I figured more is better.
How did it taste?
Way too oily, and the seeds were crunchy in a weird way. The whole soup was a mess.
Did your friend's mom try it?
Yes, and she was so polite about it. She said, "Oh, interesting. Very creative."
That's Korean politeness. She was trying not to hurt your feelings.
I know. I felt so bad.
I have a similar story with an Italian recipe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was trying to make tiramisu from an Italian recipe my coworker gave me.
Tiramisu is complicated.
Very, and the recipe was in Italian. Some words I could guess, but others.
What went wrong?
The recipe called for mascarpone. I'd never heard of it, and I looked it up wrong.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was marzipan, that almond paste stuff.
Oh no, those are completely different.
I know. Mascarpone is a creamy cheese. Marzipan is sweet almond paste.
What happened when you used marzipan?
The tiramisu was disgusting. It was gritty and way too sweet and just wrong in every way.
Did you serve it to anyone?
I brought it to a potluck at work.
Oh no.
People were too polite to say anything, but I saw them quietly throwing it away.
That's so embarrassing.
The lesson here, don't trust translation apps for recipes and always look up ingredients you don't know.
Time for another vocabulary break. Let's talk about measurements first.
In the US, we use cups, tablespoons, and teaspoons. 1 cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of butter.
Right, and teaspoon is abbreviated as TSP, while tablespoon is TBSP.
Important. 1 tablespoon equals 3 teaspoons.
In many countries, they use metric measurements, milliliters, ml, and grams, g.
The recipe calls for 250 milliliters of milk.
Now let's talk about common ingredients. Flour is the powder used to make bread and cakes.
Sugar is the sweet white or brown crystals.
Salt is the mineral that makes food taste better, but is also easy to overuse.
Butter is the dairy fat used in cooking and baking.
Oil is liquid fat, olive oil, vegetable oil, canola oil, etc.
Eggs are, well, everyone knows eggs. But you can beat eggs, whisk eggs, or scramble eggs.
Let's talk about some ingredients people confuse. Baking soda versus baking powder. They're different.
Right, they're both used to make things rise, but they work differently chemically.
Broth versus stock. Both are savory liquids made from meat or vegetables.
Stock is usually made with bones and is richer. Broth is lighter.
Cream versus milk. Cream has much more fat and is thicker.
And there's heavy cream, light cream, and half, which are all different fat percentages.
English cooking vocabulary is complicated.
Ryan, let's talk about timing disasters. Have you ever completely messed up cooking times?
Oh, absolutely. Timing is one of the hardest parts of cooking.
Tell me your worst timing disaster.
Okay, so I was hosting a dinner party. I planned to serve chicken, roasted vegetables, and mashed potatoes.
That sounds nice.
In theory, yes, but I didn't plan the timing properly.
What do you mean?
I put the chicken in the oven first. The recipe said it would take 45 minutes.
Okay, seems reasonable.
But I forgot that you're supposed to let the chicken rest for 10 to 15 minutes after cooking.
Oh, so your timing was off from the start.
Exactly. Then I started the vegetables too late, and the potatoes took way longer than I expected to boil.
So everything finished at different times?
Yes, the chicken was done and getting cold, the vegetables were still cooking, the potatoes weren't even close to ready.
What did you do?
My guests arrived and had to wait like 45 minutes for dinner. We just sat around awkwardly drinking wine.
At least there was wine.
True. By the time everything was ready, the chicken was lukewarm and the vegetables were overcooked because I kept them in the oven too long.
That's rough.
It was so stressful. Now I always make a timeline before cooking for guests.
That's smart. I have a timing disaster too.
Let's hear it.
I was making Thanksgiving dinner the first time.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of pressure.
So much pressure. I had to make turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, gravy, and pie.
That's like 6 different dishes.
I know, and I only have one oven.
Oh, no. How did you manage that?
I didn't. The turkey took way longer than expected, like 5 hours instead of 3.
Why?
I think I didn't preheat the oven properly, or maybe the turkey was bigger than I thought.
So everything else had to wait?
Yes, the side dishes were all supposed to be cooked while the turkey was resting, but the turkey wasn't done yet.
When did you finally eat?
We were supposed to eat at 6 p.m. We ate at 10 p.m.
That's a 4-hour delay.
My family was not happy. Everyone was starving.
Did the food at least taste good?
Honestly, I was so stressed that I don't even remember.
The lesson here, always add extra time to your estimates, especially for big meals.
And maybe practice once before cooking for a big event.
Anna, have you ever substituted an ingredient in a recipe and had it go terribly wrong?
Oh, yes. Substitutions are so tricky.
What happened?
I was making brownies, and the recipe called for butter.
Let me guess, you didn't have butter.
Exactly. So I thought, oil is fat, butter is fat. They're basically the same, right?
They're not the same at all.
I learned that the hard way. I substituted the butter with the same amount of vegetable oil.
What happened to the brownies?
They were so oily and greasy, and they had this weird texture, kind of slimy.
That sounds disgusting.
It was. They didn't hold together properly either. They just fell apart into oily crumbles.
Did you eat them?
I tried one bite and threw the whole pan away. Such a waste.
Yeah, butter and oil behave very differently in baking. Butter adds flavor and structure.
Now I know. What about you? Any substitution disasters?
Oh, I have a good one. I was making pasta sauce, and the recipe called for white wine.
And you didn't have white wine?
Nope, but I had white vinegar.
Oh no, Ryan.
They both start with white, right?
That's not how it works.
I know that now. I added the same amount of vinegar as the recipe called for wine.
How did it taste?
So sour, like painfully sour. I took one bite and my face scrunched up.
I can picture that.
The sauce was completely inedible. I had to throw it out and order pizza.
Wine adds acidity and flavor, but vinegar is way more acidic.
Exactly. If you don't have wine, you could use broth or even water, but not vinegar.
I have another substitution story.
Tell me,
I was making cookies and I didn't have brown sugar.
what did you use instead?
I read online that you can make brown sugar by mixing white sugar with molasses.
That's actually correct.
Yes, but I didn't have molasses either.
Where is this going?
I thought molasses is dark and sweet like chocolate syrup, right?
Oh, Anna, no.
I mixed white sugar with chocolate syrup.
What happened?
The cookies were weird and chocolatey, but in a bad way. They had this strange artificial taste, and the texture was all wrong.
Because chocolate syrup has different ingredients than molasses.
Yeah, I should have just used all white sugar instead of trying to get creative.
The lesson here, not all substitutions work. When in doubt, look it up first.
Time for another vocabulary break. Let's talk about words to describe cooking problems.
First one, burnt or burnt. This means cooked too long and turned black. I burnt the toast.
Overcooked means cooked too long, but maybe not burnt.
The pasta's overcooked and mushy.
Right. Undercooked, or raw, means not cooked enough. This chicken is undercooked. It's still pink inside.
Bland means no flavor. Boring. This soup is bland. It needs more salt.
Salty means too much salt. This dish is too salty. I can't eat it.
Soggy means too wet and soft. These fries are soggy, not crispy.
Dry means not moist enough. This cake is too dry.
Greasy means too much oil or fat. This pizza is so greasy.
Tough means hard to chew, usually for meat. This steak is tough, not tender.
Rubbery means chewy in a bad way, like rubber. These eggs are rubbery.
Let's talk about kitchen accidents. Spill means to accidentally pour liquid. I spilled milk on the counter.
Drop means to let something fall. I dropped the plate and it broke.
Cut yourself means to accidentally injure yourself with a knife. Be careful, I cut myself while chopping onions.
Burn yourself means to touch something hot. I burned my hand on the pan.
These are important words to know for kitchen safety.
Anna, do you trust online recipes?
Not anymore. I've had too many bad experiences.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so I found this recipe on a blog for the best ever chocolate cake.
Those titles are always suspicious.
Right? But the photos looked amazing and there were hundreds of comments saying it was great.
So you trusted it?
I did. I followed the recipe exactly every single step.
And it was bad?
It was terrible. The cake came out dense, dry, and barely chocolatey.
How is that possible if you followed the recipe exactly?
I think the recipe was wrong. The ratios were off or something.
Did you read the comments more carefully?
After my disaster, yes, and I found comments buried deep saying things like, "This didn't work for me," or "I had to add more liquid."
So the positive comments were all at the top.
Exactly. I think some bloggers delete negative comments or they get buried.
That's so dishonest.
I know. Now I always scroll through all the comments before trying a recipe.
Smart. I had a similar experience with a TikTok recipe.
Oh, TikTok recipes are dangerous.
Dangerous. Have you seen those hack videos?
Yes, like try this weird trick.
Exactly. I saw one for making cloud bread with just eggs and cream cheese.
I've seen that. Did you try it?
Yes. The video made it look so easy and fluffy.
How did yours turn out?
It was a flat, eggy mess. It tasted like scrambled eggs with cream cheese.
Not like bread at all?
Not even close. And the texture was weird, kind of spongy and wet.
The problem with TikTok recipes is they only show the successful attempt.
Right. They don't show you the 5 times it failed before.
And they edit out all the waiting time and the messy parts.
Exactly. Everything looks so quick and easy, but in reality, it's much harder.
I also tried a one-pot pasta recipe from Instagram.
Oh, those look so convenient.
That's what I thought. The video showed everything cooking together in one pot. Pasta, sauce, vegetables, everything.
And it didn't work?
The pasta absorbed all the liquid too quickly. I ended up with stuck-together pasta and a dry, burnt sauce.
Did you add more water?
I tried, but it was too late. The bottom was already burnt.
So what's the solution? How do we know which online recipes to trust?
Look for recipes from established cooking websites like BBC Good Food, Serious Eats, or All Recipes.
Those sites test their recipes multiple times before publishing.
Exactly. And read the comments carefully. Look for detailed reviews, not just yum.
Also, be skeptical of recipes that seem too easy or too good to be true.
Right. If it seems impossible, it probably is.
Ryan, we should talk about kitchen safety. We've both had some close calls.
Definitely. Besides my oil fire, I've had other safety issues.
Like what?
I once grabbed a pot handle that I didn't realize was extremely hot.
Oh no, did you burn yourself badly?
I got a pretty bad blister.
The handle was metal and had been on the stove for a while.
That's so painful.
It was. Now I always use oven mitts or a towel, even if I think the handle might be cool.
Good habit. I've cut myself pretty badly before.
How did it happen?
I was trying to cut a bagel in half and I was holding it in my palm while cutting towards myself.
That's really dangerous.
I know that now. The knife slipped and cut right into my hand.
Did you need stitches?
Almost. It bled a lot, but I managed to stop it with pressure and bandages.
The proper way's to cut on a cutting board, always away from your body.
Exactly. And use a stable surface.
Another dangerous thing? Dull knives.
Wait, aren't dull knives safer?
Actually, no. Dull knives are more dangerous because you have to use more force, and they're more likely to slip.
I didn't know that.
I know, but it's true. Always keep your knives sharp.
What about cross-contamination? That's a safety issue too.
Absolutely. Using the same cutting board for raw meat and vegetables is very dangerous.
You can get food poisoning.
Right. Always use separate boards, or thoroughly wash and sanitize between uses.
And always wash your hands after handling raw meat.
These safety tips are so important.
Okay, we've shared a lot of disasters. Let's end with some practical tips to avoid cooking fails.
Great idea. Tip number 1. Read the entire recipe before you start cooking.
Yes, don't start cooking and then realize you're missing an ingredient or you don't have enough time.
Tip 2. Mise en place. That's a French term meaning everything in its place.
Prepare and measure all your ingredients before you start cooking.
Tip 3. Don't multitask too much. Stay focused on your cooking.
Especially with things that can burn easily or boil over.
Tip 4. Taste as you go. Don't wait until the end to check if it needs more salt or seasoning.
But don't taste raw meat or eggs, only cooked food.
Good point. Tip 5. Use a timer for everything.
Don't rely on your memory, set timers.
Tip 6. Invest in basic tools. A good knife, cutting board, measuring cups, thermometer.
These tools make cooking so much easier and safer.
Tip 7. Start with simple recipes and work your way up.
Don't try to make a 5-course meal if you've never cooked before.
Tip 8. Learn from your mistakes. If something goes wrong, figure out why.
And don't give up. Everyone has cooking disasters.
Even professional chefs mess up sometimes.
The key is to keep trying and learning.
Wow, we covered so many cooking disasters today.
From burning kitchens to inedible cakes to ingredient substitution fails.
The main lesson is cooking is hard and everyone makes mistakes.
But with practice, patience, and the right knowledge, anyone can become a better cook.
So, listeners, we want to hear your cooking disaster stories. What's the worst thing you've ever cooked?
Did you burn something, use the wrong ingredient, set off the smoke alarm?
Tell us in the comments or send us a message.
And if you learned some useful cooking vocabulary today, let us know.
Don't forget to subscribe to Easy Listening English for more fun conversations.
Thanks so much for listening.
We'll see you next time.
Happy cooking!
And be careful.